And hello guys, and today it's Crab Champions. This game is really fun and has incredible amount of promise, plus it's pretty cheap to boot. It does have some major issues, especially build diversity and unusefulness, but they didn't affect how much fun I had. Ultimately, I would say I had a good time and would pay more for it, especially once it's more polished. The pros are fantastic soundtrack, fun gameplay regardless of issues, lots of packs to mix things up, good group gameplay style, plenty of challenges that are reasonably within reach, and a lot of achievements and cosmetics with it. Several build-independent augmentations for damage are available. Few bugs, save for a couple quirks like chest spawning or trees or key spawning inside rocks, many crabs. The cons are a few builds are currently available at high levels, especially in Nightmare. Reload Arc Storms other builds early, and it takes other builds far too long to become relevant, often after you're already super invested in something else. There's a little chance to focus on what you want outside of selecting the right portals, which while they may be good for you, aren't necessarily good for others in your group. What's the point of applying 4000 poison stacks if it does almost no damage? My hope is that other builds are buffed, and not that this one simple build gets nerfed. Not a game you want to play in a group without a good voice comms. The next is about no PvE matchmaking. Not a problem if you have friends who wants to play. The gameplay issues that range from annoying to problematic, not in order and could be fixed pretty easily. The first is you can't open spike chests if you have less than or exactly 33% of your max HP. This means that the rooms are often gambles unless it's pretty early, even though they are good. They should really take 33% of your current HP rounded down, or leave you at 1 HP if you can't afford it. The next one is about parkour rooms are very unforgiving, but might be easier if you had a practice. Unfortunately, you can't practice. The third is picking a portal can be done regardless if everyone has picked up their items from chests and or destroying rocks. Then never a time you should want to leave items on the ground, since you can dismantle for money. Similarly for portals, there is no cancel button. Once someone has clicked one, the 10-second timer starts and it can be stopped. You can share or give your obelisks, drop chests, item to someone else without first picking up to drop them. This gets annoying if your inventory is full, especially if someone sells an item you need while you were going so. The next is you can dismount items for money from your inventory. You have to drop them to do so. The next is about rerolling. Shop can happen before everyone is ready, similar to the portal issue. Rerolling also gets expensive very quickly. At least one person in your group needs to focus on and get lucky with income items, or nobody will have a build before it comes to important. Shop items are expensive, but the income items, save for one, do not increase your damage. Cash or crystals as it were is the king until you need damage. Better RNG, abandon run. Training dummy doesn't regain or set HP. This could be because of the status effects, I'm not sure, and will display 0 DPS when out of health, and also reset DPS counter too fast and often. Needs a reserve button for a far more health, and should either represent a typical enemy to come up soon, or be a dummy with no stats but tons of HP. Weapons choice does not feel impactful enough. There are certain builds that could synergize well with certain weapons, but they still deal less damage than the reload arc by miles. Since the builds are bad, the weapons are all bad, and the only good choice is whatever reloads first. Spamming the use buttons of the portals seems to make it so nobody else can interact with them. Losing after starting a loop doesn't count as a win. It impedes getting achievements, and ultimately incentivizes quitting an island for 30 for achievements instead of looping, until you've gotten all of them. Support builds are only remotely viable, with extreme communication and small groups. Everyone needs to get the perk of the shock increasing damage before a shock support is useful. Loop scaling feels too high, while perk scaling is not enough. It's very easy to die very quickly, whilst doing almost no damage, unless your build is good. Enemy crabs look similar to elite crabs, and sometimes also have a name placard above their heads.